In today's video, XIANYUN, also known as Cloud Retainer, one of the mighty and illuminated adepti in UA. XIANYUN is a 5-star NMO character, catalyst wielder, healer, and buffer for plunging attack damage. In this video you'll find tips, talent explanations, artifact sets, weapons, and more, so keep watching if you want to have the best XIANYUN in Genshin. Join my Discord server if you want to make friends and play Genshin or other games. You're more than welcome to join. And without further ado, this is XIANYUN's character investment, and let's jump right into her active talents. With the normal attack, she summons Thrilling Winds to perform up to 4 attacks, dealing animal damage. Really cool animations, but she doesn't use them, even the plunging attack, since we use the one of the skill. Talking of it, with the skill, XIANYUN enters the cloud transmogrification, I think, state, in which she will not take full damage and uses Sky Ladder once. In this state, her plunging attack will be converted into Drift Cloud Wave instead, which deals AoE animal damage and ends the cloud transmogrification state. This damage is considered plunging attack damage. Each use of the Sky Ladder while in this state increases the damage and AoE of the next Drift Cloud Wave used. This skill is pretty useful for exploration, and also the state she grants to herself when she uses the skill allows her to no longer take full damage, which is pretty nice while exploring. Let's have a deeper look to the Sky Ladder mechanic. It can be used while in mid-air, so once again pretty useful while exploring. During each cloud transmogrification stage, XIANYUN enters Sky Ladder that can be used up to 3 times and deal only an instance of damage, which is the plunging attack you perform. If Sky Ladder is not used again in a short period, the cloud transmogrification state will be concealed, so she would take full damage, but we don't play Genshin falling over and over, so this is not a problem. And if this happens while exploring, I recommend to always use the glider once you are closer to the ground. You never know. If XIANYUN doesn't use the skill while in this state, the next cooldown of the skill will be decreased by 3 seconds. So this is it for the skill. It's simply an ability that helps you with exploration and a way for XIANYUN to deal damage during the rotations. With the burst, XIANYUN deals AoE animal damage and heals all nearby characters based on her attack. This ability will also summon the Starwaker mechanism, which will continuously follow the active character and periodically heal all nearby party members based on XIANYUN's attack, which is pretty good. Starts with 8 stacks of Adeptal Assistance. While Adeptal Assistance is active, nearby active characters in the party will have their jump height increased. Pretty useful for characters that deal plunging attacks, but also for who can't, since in this way, with an elemental infusion on their weapon, characters can deal plunging attack damage, which would also be pretty high since the plunging attack damage in characters' normal attacks is usually a great percentage. So with this burst, every character with an elemental infusion can deal great plunging attack damage. With the last property, when the active character completes a plunging attack, Starwaker will consume 1 stack of Adeptal Assistance, so you can jump 8 times, and every time you'll deal plunging attack damage, XIANYUN will deal AoE animal damage. The level priority is burst, then skill, and last normal attack. Let's have a look at the passive talents. With the first one, each opponent hit by the plunging attack of the skill will grant all nearby party members 1 stack of Storm Pinion for 20 seconds. This will cause the character's plunging attack crit rate to increase up to 10%, starting from 4%. Each stack of Storm Pinion has an independent duration, so of course really strong talent. It works better if you have crowd opponents. You don't have 10% to crit rate if you have 3 opponents, for example, but if you have 4 or more opponents, make sure to use her skill 3 times, so to jump 3 times in order to increase the range of the plunging attack damage. Anyway, this is a great talent, but doesn't allow you to not give your DPS a good percentage of crit rate. With the second one, when the Starwaker created by the burst as Adeptal Assistance stacks, nearby active character's plunging attack shockwave damage will be increased by 200% of XIANYUN's attack. This damage will be dealt to only 1 opponent, so it doesn't count for every opponent in the field. This is not a big of a problem since characters working with XIANYUN can deal multiple instances of damage, so you always have the chance to activate this effect on the right enemy. To take the most out of this talent, you should aim to have 4500 of attack on XIANYUN, so try to get the closest you can. And the last passive talent increases gliding speed for your own party members by 15%, useful for exploration and for when you use her skill to move around. So now that we had a look at the entire kit, what can we say about XIANYUN? I think she is really strong and versatile. At the same time, she is a sort of dualism where she is good for only 3 characters, Xiao, Gaming, and Varessa, but at the same time she's good for potentially all DPS in Genshin. She increases a lot Xiao, Gaming, and Varessa performances, but thanks to her, characters like Diluc made a crazy 180, going from be not that relevant to be really strong and solid. So thanks to her buff in plunging attack damage, every character can deal great damage by plunging. However, the problem is precisely this: do we really want mini Xiao going around in the abyss, or do we really want to sacrifice characters or DPS animations just for damage? This isn't something that makes XIANYUN weaker, but just a consideration regarding the fact that we will play the same character with just a different aesthetic. So XIANYUN is is a great buff or which we shouldn't abuse. Let me know your opinion and let's go ahead with our build options. So for artifacts options, for 2-piece she can use 2-piece attack, the leader Simonaba and all others of course, 2-piece energy charge, Emblem of Her Fate, 2-piece healing bonus, Maiden Beloved, Ocean Your Climb and Song of This Past, and 2-piece animal damage bonus, Iridescent Venerer and there's a Pavilion Chronicle. For 4-piece she can use Iridescent Venerer, which will decrease opponent's resistance to the element Shin'Yun triggers as real reaction. Pretty good when you have DPS that are not Anemo, Geo or Dendro. Also this set increases her real damage, which comes useful for when she plunges or when active characters under her effect plunge. Maiden Beloved, which increases her healing performances. Song of This Past, which will record the amount of healing provided within 6 seconds, so pretty fitting with her burst. The amount of healing provided will also grant a buff in damage based on the HP restored, which stacks perfectly with her passive talent. The rank of her best 4-piece set is Maiden in 3rd place, Iridescent in 2nd place, and Song in 1st place. Main stats are Energy Charge on the Sand, Attack on the Goblet, and Attack or Healing bonus on the Circlet. Substats are Energy Charge, Attack, Crits, and Elemental Mastery. Before we uncover weapons options, the majority of the viewers are not subscribed, so subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of content and make sure to activate the notifications to not miss out any future guides of favorite characters. Let's have a look at weapons options now. First option is Crane's Echoing Call, which grants a lot of attack with main substats. The effect will increase other characters' plunging attack damage, and when they hit opponent with a plunging attacks, 2.5 energy will be restored to XIANYUN. Basically, if you plunge and hit 8 times, she will have 20 energy back. Pretty good for her, of course. Skyward Atlas, which also gives a lot of attack with main substats. The effect will increase elemental damage bonus, and the rest of it is not that useful for XIANYUN since she can't activate it. Memory of Dust, which grants a lot of attack, and the effect will increase it even more when XIANYUN hits opponents, which is something she can do with her plunging attack and the enemy resistance she deals after the character perform a plunging attack when under the effect. For as options, she can have Favonius Codex, which grants a good percentage of energy charge and attack. The effect will generate extra particles if you have enough crit rate, and Oath Sworn, which grants a lot of attack with main and substats, and the effect will increase energy charge after using an elemental skill, which is really useful for XIANYUN. This weapon was obtainable through an event in 2.5, so you don't have it if you weren't playing at the time. Let's have a look at the constellation before Team Comp, so we can understand if there are any constellations needed, or we can play XIANYUN as a 0 so having great performances. With the first one, the skill gains 1 additional charge, pretty good for exploration, particles generation, and damage. With the second one, after using the Sky Ladder from the skill, XIANYUN's attack will be increased by 20% for 15 seconds. Additionally, the effects of the second passive talent is enhanced, and when the star weaker created by the burst as a battle assistant stacks, nearby active characters' plunging attack shockwave damage will be increased by 400% of XIANYUN's attack. The maximum damage increase that can be achieved this way is 18,000, so the buff is doubled, which is really good for your DPS. The third increases the level of the burst by 3, so bigger healing distances, pretty good. With the fourth one, after using Sky Ladder 1, 2, or 3 times during one skill Cloud Transmogrification state, when a Drift Cloud Wave unleashed during that instance hits an opponent, it will heal all nearby party members for 50%, 80%, or 150% of XIANYUN's attack. This effect can be triggered once every 5 seconds, so use the skill 3 times before the plunging attack in order to have more stacks of her first passive talent in a great healing instance for all nearby party members. This healing instance is basically equal to the first instance of the burst. The fifth increases the level of the skill by 3, and with the last one, after XIANYUN uses 1, 2, or 3 Sky Ladders within one Cloud Transmogrification caused by the skill, the crit damage of a Drift Cloud Wave created in this instance of Cloud Transmogrification will be increased by 15, 35, or 70%. Of course, use the skill 3 times to have 70% of crit damage bonus. Within 16 seconds after XIANYUN has used the burst, the skill will not enter cooldown. This effect will be concealed once she has used the skill 8 times. This makes her a DPS, of course, so she supports herself to deal damage with her skill. So she has great constellations, but you don't need them to have a strong XIANYUN. Now for team comps, as I said before, she can be really relevant for characters that fight with plunging attacks, but also for characters who don't but have a great multiplicator on them. First option is a mono animal team with Xiao, Faruzan, XIANYUN, and Furina. This is the strongest team for Xiao. In this case, you have Furina applying Hydro and buffing all performances, Faruzan decreasing opponents' animal resistance, granting animal damage bonus, and if you have her C6, she will also increase the crit damage of animal damage, and XIANYUN will heal and buff Xiao that will deal a lot of plunging attack damage. Second option is a Melt Vape team with Gaming, Citlali, XIANYUN, and Furina. In this case, XIANYUN is really important for a character like Gaming, which has his HP decreasing and increases really fast. In this case, Furina and XIANYUN's tasks are the same as before, and are really synergic together since Furina consumes every 1 HP and XIANYUN heals everyone. This time we have Citlali that will decrease opponent's resistance to Hydro and Pyro, apply Cryo, shielding and buffing Gaming and Pyro damage. This is also a great team for Diluc. And last option is an Electrocharge team with Varessa, Yansan, XIANYUN and Furina. In this case, Furina XIANYUN does the same things as before, but this time you have Yansan that buffs in attack, heals and grants a buff in elemental damage to Varessa and Furina, and lastly Varessa dealing plunging attack damage. As always, these were just examples. You can use XIANYUN with a lot of other characters except for bow wielders, so have fun with her. And that's all you needed to know about our adapted XIANYUN. I hope this video came useful to you. Let me know in the comments your final thoughts about this character. I remind you to subscribe to the channel and also to my TikTok and Instagram accounts, to join my Discord server, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!